The Bracero program of 1942 provided great benefit for the United States economy, but it also caused great controversy between the US and Mexico. The Bracero program was created in the efforts to improve the US economy after a disastrous World War II. It allowed a limited amount of Mexican citizens to legally enter the United States as temporary laborers. Although the wartime Bracero program was initially planned to terminate on December 30th of 1947, countless farmers and U.S. officials insisted for the program to be extended until the U.S. economy stabilized. After granting an additional 16 years on the Bracero program, farmers and officials sought for yet another extension. This extension, however, was only proposing one additional year due to the, quote, unpredictable developments in the labor market situation, end quote. The proposal was presented to the U.S. House of Representatives, where they then conducted a hearing titled Mexican Farm Labor Program on March 27th through 29th of 1963. Secretary of Labor William Willard Wirtz supported the proposal for a one-year extension of the Bracero program. Wirtz believed the U.S. economy needed to improve its productivity, therefore he sought for a solution through the Bracero program. In 1959 alone, there was an estimated 487,643 braceros admitted under the Bracero program. The statistics do not account for the individuals illegally entering the country in search for employment. Domestic workers had every right to be concerned about their jobs since braceros and illegal immigrants that were willing to work for lower wages occupied most jobs. Wirtz put forth this dilemma during the Mexican Farm Labor Program hearing. He stated that the U.S., quote, must exercise every caution to assure that qualified domestic workers are given preference for all available job opportunities, end quote. The difference between the domestic worker and the migrant worker was that one was willing and capable of rebelling against mistreatment, while the other did not have the right to protest. Wirtz and other officials were well aware of Mexican immigrants' presence within the U.S. labor force, but he chose not to incorporate them into his statistics. In addition to providing statistics, Wirtz also offered his proposal as an act of common sense. Wirtz presented his proposal in a matter-of-fact tone in order to indicate that his notion of extending the Bracero program was indeed common sense. Quote, if braceros are needed to grow and harvest our crops, then we must use them, end quote. Like Wirtz, Anglo-Americans used a similar method of common sense during the 1900s to justify discrimination against minorities. Ion F. Haney Lopez incorporates this idea within his book, Racism on Trial, The Chicano Fight for Justice. He argues that racial ideas operate within a sphere of common sense. According to Lopez, individuals are racist because they truly believe it is correct. Similar to the way humans view breathing as common sense, certain people discriminate or act racist towards others because they find it rational. Although Wirtz did not discriminate braceros through his proposal, he presented braceros as an obvious resource that would create prosperity in the U.S. economy. Wirtz ultimately challenged the House of Representatives because every American citizen is expected to essentially want the best for the U.S. Therefore, the House of Representatives would appear as the antagonist if they were to deny Wirtz's rational proposal. After 3 days of trial, Wirtz, with the aid of other representatives from the Department of Labor, was granted his proposal. The Bracero program was then documented to terminate on December 31st of 1964. Although the U.S. government attempted to terminate the Bracero program multiple times, they continued the program for a total of 19 years after World War II. While many claim that the U.S. posed the Bracero program in the efforts to aid Mexico in its economy, they failed to acknowledge that the U.S. was primarily concerned about its own economy. Wirtz, along with numerous officials that fought for extensions of the Bracero program, may have had good intentions for the Bracero, but through the dogged efforts to recover the U.S. economy, they continuously exploited Mexican laborers. Apoyado en su raíz.